is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. Today I was in a massive One Piece mood, man. And by the time y'all see this, I'm probably gonna publish this on Saturday. But today is the night before the chapter drops, so Thursday night, right? And I'm sitting here, man, just trying to, pass the time and whatnot, get ready for tomorrow because I'm super excited for the chapter to come out. But because I was in such a massive mood today, man, I was like, man, I gotta watch TV specials. I'm in the mood for it. So I was here with my brother, and I just put on TV special number 3. And so I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna go through this, watch TV special 3, and then we'll continue on with the night. Middle of watching TV special 3, I said, nah, bro, I gotta watch another one after this. This is too good. Then I watched TV special 4, man, and the moment that I press the red button to stop this recording, I am heading right back to my Crunchyroll, clicking on One Piece, and I'm gonna watch some more. Yo, these two specials were so much fun, man. So much fun. I'm gonna talk about them both briefly. Continuing the. I haven't been doing it in a while, so I apologize about that. I'm definitely gonna continue to do as many as possible before Stampede comes out. At the very least, before Stampede comes out for us, because I know that in Japan it comes out in August, but for us, I don't know when it's coming out. But yeah, man. I mean, what an awesome time to be a fan of One Piece, bro. Like, you have Uzumaki Khan just came back. That was a lot of fun. We were watching those episodes with him, alongside him. It's always fun to have Khan in the community, man. I feel like he's one of those individuals that whenever I watch his videos, I feel like my love for the series grows even more than it already is. And it's already the GOAT to me, so I'm like, I don't know how it can go any higher. And it does, man, whenever I watch his videos. And it's always really nice whenever he comes back, because it's like Khan is like Togashi to me at this point. Like, whenever he's here, he's delivering greatness, but when he's not here, I'm wishing for the best and I hope he's doing well, man. So shout out to my boy Uzumaki Khan, being back in business. I'm rewatching the Wano trailer all the time, and the same thing with the Hungry Days commercial. I'm still rewatching the Flagnars out of that, and it's just such a good time, and the manga's on fire, of course. So much greatness, man. But let's go ahead and talk about these TV specials, bro. My mind is filled with so much hype right now, so just bear with me if I if I start not making much sense or can't put a coherent thought together. But that was just so much of a blast, man. So the first TV special that I am going to be covering today is TV special number 3, which is Protect the Last Great Performance. This aired on December 14th of the year 2003, man. So this was between episodes, I believe it's 174 and 175 of Skypiea. So that's right a little after NL got introduced, and we started moving forward with his side of the story, because up until that point we had really been dealing mainly with the ordeals and whatnot, but now we were dealing more with NL and heading forward into that side of that entire Skypiea saga. But right here in the middle of that, we had this Marvelous special, which I think Skypiea had 2 specials that took place. One was in Jaya, which was TV special number 2, and they had another one, TV special number 3, which the moment I started the episode and I saw Bon Voyage, I was like, oh, the greatness. I love Bon Voyage, man. That opening, I mean, all the openings always give me a lot of nostalgia, especially the earlier ones. But Bon Voyage is such an awesome opening, man. I love that opening in any language, man. In English, Japanese, Spanish, it's a great opening. But anyways, it aired on December 14th, 2003, and it had a TV rating of a 15. That is really, really good. So shout out to that. And apparently it ranked 2nd overall for that week. The following special actually at ranked number 1. And whenever I saw that, I was like, bro, I am just imagining how well Wano's going to do, since it's very similar to it. But regardless, staying on TV special number 3. TV special number 3 was a lot of fun, man. It had a lot of great character moments with Luffy and Nami in particular. The rest of the Straw Hats really had good moments to shine and whatnot. Usopp was a lot of fun in this film as well, but we really got to focus on a character named Randolph and his story. And Randolph is an ex-Marine who has now delivered his life to acting and performing on a stage in plays. And it was really cool because since I'm in a Wano mood, we have these plays with certain acts, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. whatever the case may be. But this individual, in the film, it's his final performance, and he wants to have the greatest performance possible. And of course, because the Straw Hats are there, and their usual shenanigans, and what happens usually whenever they go into places, things don't go according to plan. And so some other stuff gets put in. Then we get the Marines and the Marines that made them like leave the entire thing in the first place. We get to see the corrupt side of certain Marines that really want to, or that are trying to achieve higher rank through the easiest means possible. Which was the bastard that was in this movie. And I was so happy when Luffy punched the flag nerds out of him, man. That was such a satisfying punch, bro. You know, when Luffy just has one of those satisfying punches, that was one of them in this movie, man. Fantastic. But then you also had a little plot from the beginning of the film that related into that and really connected into that of 3 actors that left and said they didn't want to be a part of it anymore, but they were actually working for this guy. And so that really made you really detest this individual and whatnot. But the main highlight of this film for me was the relationship between Randolph and Luffy, and also Randolph's final speech in his performance, because it really did. It represented the greatness of One Piece to me, and his speech about pirates, and I love how, because this entire time in these plays, he's been the hero because he's been against pirates. You know, his main thing being pirates all die at my feet. And right before he stated that line, he basically thought of Luffy. And he remembered Luffy because Luffy was protecting him whenever these Marines came to go get him. And Luffy legitimately went back to the Marine base, picked him up, Gomu Gomu Nod back, Rocket, Gomu Gomu Rocket back, and took him back to his town. And he said, "You perform. You go on stage, do your thing. We'll take care of the rest. I'm the one who's gonna be the pirate king. You think I'm gonna lose to these people?" And I was like, "Yo, Luffy." Luffy had some peace lines. So did Nami, because Nami was relating over to Randolph, because Randolph originally, whenever he met Luffy, he didn't like him. I actually punched him in the face and whatnot, and they squared off there for a little bit in the beginning, and it was beautiful because Nami was like, I understand where he's coming from, because I also think that pirates are scum. And it shows a little bit into going to her backstory and starts playing her theme, which I absolutely love. Her version of Mother Sea. It's a fantastic theme. But you start seeing it from her perspective, and she's like, "But you know what? They've never met the Straw Hat Pirates." Like, she agrees that pirates overall are scum, but that doesn't mean that all, and we're included in that other side of it. Like, he's never met us. And that was beautiful coming from Nami. The one person out of all of them that should hate pirates. It was really, really dope to have that speech from Nami. But going back to Randolph's, after Luffy's impact on Randolph, he proceeded to have that final part of his performance, and he went off script, man. Right after he was about to say that line of like, "All pirates will always lie dead at my feet." And everyone thought that he lost his voice because that's what it was leading up to. But no, he didn't lose his voice. He was just trying to think about whether or not this should be the last thing that he says. And then what he proceeds to say after that is some of the most beautiful stuff you'll ever see, man. And the way that it's shot, and you see the tears running down both his eyes and the whole audience as they all erupt and roar. I mean, the director's like yelling at him like, "Yo, you're going off script," but by the end even he's crying. And it was so cool to me, man. And it is true art. Whenever you give somebody the power to go off script and they make something even more beautiful than what you originally had on the script, that's creativity. That's whenever a masterpiece comes into fruition. And this is like an off-topic rant, but that's my problem with today's wrestling product. I've been a wrestling fan for a very, very long time, and the most genius of promos all came from individuals who take the stuff that you make on script, or that you have on script, and they put it in their own wording as their own character would say it. You know what I'm saying? Or they would just go out there and cut the promo that they wrote because they understand their characters better than anybody. Not just some random writer who barely even knows the product enough as it is, coming in there trying to write for them. And you know what? Honestly, sometimes not even the writer's fault. It comes from up top. But anyways, that's aside from the point. The point is, it's always beautiful whenever the actor or the person on camera or whatever is able to display their own emotion for their own character, for the character that they play, so that they can leave an impact on the other individuals that are there. And I thought that was a fantastic way for him to go out and have a final performance, man. Especially when we see the impact Luffy had on him. The final portion of the movie having Luffy setting sail and saying, you know, we'll settle this one day, because originally they were fighting, they never got to settle it. So, like, you know, we'll settle this one day. And he was like, yeah, you better keep that promise, kid. And it was great, man. Really, really fun special. I had a lot of fun watching it, man. I had so much fun watching it. I honestly want to put it on the Fantastic Sauce level, dude. I really, really do. I want to put it on the same level as Special 1, because what made Special 1 so great to me was the main, how I believe that anybody who had never watched One Piece before could have watched that and had gotten into the series with it. That's what made that special that's what made that one right there so special. This one right here, it's like if nobody had ever watched anything else from One Piece again after this, I feel like they would have the main gist of why people love it so much, and they themselves would like it, because this was a great story in of itself about the Straw Hats and this individual who wants to have his final performance, and how the Straw Hats impacted this individual. And it was a great short story, man. So for me, it gets a Fantastic Sauce. I really, really enjoyed it. And God, man, some emotional scenes, so many beast scenes, a lot of fun. There was one particular sequence whenever all the Straws are just going completely ham. Great OSTs. It was just overall a great special, man. But now, man, let's head into TV special 4, bro. Now, listen, yo. TV special number 4. End of year special project, The Detective Memoirs of Chief Straw Hat Luffy, aired on December 18th, 2005. So this is in between some incredible content. I own all of this on DVD, but it's between episodes 253 and 254, which is right around the line whenever Nami's yelling out to Luffy to save, to go after Robin, because you know, at this point everything's falling apart, and Nami's crying, like legitimately shedding tears, and yelling out to Luffy to please save someone else. I mean, this is one of my favorite Nami moments in the entire series. It really, really is. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. It takes place around that time. This aired on December 18th, 2005, and it got a 15.0, also just like the first special. But this time it came number 1. It ranked number 1, man. Now, for this one, I'm going to tell you straight up what I rank this right off the bat. I rank this an awesome sauce. This is the first special this year. This is the first movie / special / whatever that I've covered this year. For the 20th anniversary special thing that I've been doing with the movies and specials. This is the very first thing this year that I have given awesome sauce, but I can't give anything less. I cannot give TV special 4 anything less. Why? Because it took what I loved about the Boss Luffy fillers, which I'm about to go back and rewatch, and it made a special out of it, but a special that was so perfect in the way that it was, handled from a visual direction standpoint, from the characters. Listen, man, this movie or this special probably handled maybe a little bit better, or I don't even know how I could have done that, on the same level as TV Special 1, in terms of really capturing who the Straw Hat Pirates are. Better than any of the other specials, out of like these 4, the main first 4 TV specials. Those 2, TV Special 1 and TV Special 4, they just captured the characters so well, bro. But in this one, they really, really did, man. TV special number 4. If y'all enjoyed the Boss Luffy fillers and you have not seen this, you have to watch it. It is a visual masterpiece. There is so much fun. You can just tell that they were testing out a few things when it comes to certain storyboarding effects and certain visual effects, and every character has like their own specific shots that you just can tell the voice actors and voice actresses are on point. It's just such a fun story, and so many unique situations that you know those characters would be in if they were in this alternate reality, and it's so flipping amazing, man. I loved every single second of this special. So much so that during special 3, I was tweeting a little bit about the specials, about my watch through, because I was really enjoying it. But TV special 4, after a certain scene, I said screw it. I'm not tweeting anymore. Yo. This is too good. This is too good. I can't keep my eyes off the screen. When you have Buggy and Luffy in the same scene, that enough is for me to call it absolute greatness. I mean, 3D2Y, the special, legit. The moment that Buggy, Mr. 3, and Luffy were in the same scene, it was automatically a GOAT to me. I mean, I know I ranked it as a great sauce, but looking back on it and having that by itself, it should be a fantastic sauce because those 3 are in the same scene at the same time. That's what I said about Stampede. I said, Stampede, man, you know what? And you have all these legendary figures all converging into one area. But you know the one thing I'm looking forward to the most? Interaction between Luffy, Buggy, and Mr. 3. Because those are the 3 funniest characters in terms of... I mean, well, it's a tie. Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper, or Luffy flipping Buggy and Mr. 3. Those 3, or those 2 right there, you won't find comedy better than that. It is absolutely hilarious when those 3 are together. So it was only missing Mr. 3. Which would have been awesome had they included him in the second part of the special, which included Vivi. But yeah, man, so this special is split in 2. The first part of the special for the Awesome Sauce was mainly centered around Buggy as the central antagonist, even though he was also the central part of the second one. The first one was really focused on introducing this scenario at hand, this place, which is basically a 19th century version of the One Piece world. It takes place in an area similar to Wano, with Boss Luffy, Onami, and all the ones that we know from the fillers and whatnot. And it's just so much fun seeing an alternate reality version of all these characters. And I was craving something like this because of the Hungry Days commercial. The Hungry Days commercial really I want a school life or a high school version of One Piece. I really, really do. After the Hungry Days commercial, I wanted an alternate reality version of One Piece. And so whenever I started watching this, I was like, bro, this is perfect. Like, I'm in the Wano mood and I get an alternate reality of it. This is awesome. But just having the interactions between Sanji and Nami were fantastic. You know, Nami having her restaurant called the Pinwheel. It's such a cool touch. But Sanji being the chef there, and then you even have like certain characters coming in from different parts of the series, regardless of whether they were characters on our side or not on our side. You know, come in as customers, cameos. Panda Man was here. You know, like just so many awesome little cameos moments. Like you could tell the amount of effort and care they really put into this special. And Luffy just in particular as Boss Luffy is so awesome, yo. Usopp in this special was so awesome, just so Usopp. Because instead of Usopp in this special, honestly, Usopp in this special was less of a coward, but more of being over exaggerated. So instead of, I mean, he really went and confronted Buggy 100%. He was up in like somewhere, and then Luffy fell down from the sky. I was like, that was Nami that did that, and that was so cool because I've always appreciated Usopp and Nami's relationship, which I continue to say all the time. But it's something I really, really like is the way Oda handles Usopp and Nami's relationship, because they are part of the weak trio. So whenever they get together and they manage to make some magic out of it, it's always really cool knowing how similar they are to each other. So whenever Usopp says that line, like, yeah, I trusted in Nami in order to get you here. So then Luffy gets up in like Somer Pone's Buggy and whatnot. We continue on. But just little small things, man, like that. And then Luffy going out and fishing with the 3 kids back from Syrup Village and whatnot. It's so nice. You know, it's little small stuff like Luffy fishing, but because it's taking place in this type of setting. And it reminds me so much of Wano, and I'm like, I love this, man. I mean, just the setting in of itself is awesome. But everybody converging back to the Pinwheel and going back to the Pinwheel, like the Pinwheel was just the Going Merry or the Thousand Sunny. That's always the meetup place, and I loved it. I loved every second of the first half of that special. It was a blast, just being able to see certain situations and certain moments with certain characters, certain character interactions. It was an absolute pleasure. And then the second half of the special hit, and this is when I truly said, all right, man, I might have this above TV Special 1, which by the end I said I have to have it above it. It's got to be an awesome sauce. The second half of the special starts off with Zoro, and Zoro, because the first part of the special was in the daytime. The second part of the special is at night, and so you see Vivi running around, and at this point, of course, because it's alternate reality, nobody knows who Vivi actually is, and they play off of the whole princess thing about how she's trying to hide that within the story, and it makes it really, really interesting. So she's trying to, run away from these bandits and whatnot. And Zoro, who's just happening to wander and go around, he he's wearing a nice dry and everything. But anyways, Zoro's walking around. He managed to overhear the conversation. Pops by, pones them, and Zoro goes absolutely ham. And then we have this little nice moment between Zoro and Luffy, where Luffy acknowledges his strength, and then Zoro's like, "Oh, Oyabun, what did he call him? Oyabun Luffy. Oyabun, bro, boss, Luffy." And I was like, because of course, Zoro and Luffy and their relationship was always really dope, but it was just really nice seeing that, the alternate version reality of that, because like I said, I've been so on to this whole thing thanks to the Hungry Days commercial, where the end of that special is one of my favorite scenes in anything, and it's just it's just a commercial. It's just a commercial, bro. But whenever you have Luffy eating noodles and he's like, "Oh, kakoi," and you hear the laugh, and you see Luffy in pants in a shirt. I was like, it was Zoro. But anyways, yeah, so it was really dope having them have that moment together. I was waiting for it. And then of course they bring Vivi back with them. Vivi becomes a member of the Pinwheel, and net shenanigans ensue with Sanji and with everyone, and it causes for some really hilarious and cool moments. A Chopper, joins up with them as well, after the first special and whatnot. And then you have Robin like sneaking around trying to find being a part of the whole Vivi plot too, just like whenever she was Miss All Sunday. It was great how they were handling that. So Vivi's still hiding, of course, her princess origins, with certain interactions. But then we had this really other cool scene with Luffy facing off. And so in the first part, Luffy faced off against Hachi and Buggy and whatnot. So they had their little showdown, but and with Gadatsu and whatnot. But in this time, it was Luffy versus Zoro, because they saw how strong Zoro was. They decided they wanted to hire him. So now they're over here hiring Zoro, and you're wondering in the back of your head, you're like, all right, man. They already respect each other. Luffy and Zoro, after the beginning of this thing, they respect each other. So how is this whole thing going to go down? I was genuinely interested. So you have Zoro about to go up against Boss Luffy, man. And it was such a cool interaction and such a cool sequence of battle between the two, because you have them both going at each other and fighting and whatnot. But then Zoro, because he saw Luffy going absolutely in, he managed to take out some of Buggy's crew. So then Zoro was like, you know what? We'll do some more of that. So Zoro gets once again behind a whole bunch of members of Buggy's crew, and then Luffy, trying to get to Zoro, pones a bunch of members of Buggy's crew and does the same thing again, and he does the same thing again, and I'm like, bro, this is so awesome. So then whenever the members of Buggy's crew try to get advantage of the situation in order to try to kidnap Vivi, Zoro and Luffy both pwned them, and it caused for some very interesting and hilarious and fun stuff. And then of course you have right after that the aftermath, whenever Zoro and Luffy, of course, have their little moment, and then Vivi, she still doesn't reveal to everyone who she actually is, because there's a wanted poster going around saying that they're searching for Vivi, but in actuality it's because she's the princess of the castle. And the way that was wrapped up, and then how something very similar to what happened in episode 129, whenever Igaram took the place of Vivi during the speech. This time, whenever somebody went to go check on Vivi to make sure she was still in the room because she had escaped the first time, Igaram was actually the one that was covering for her, and Vivi was out there playing with Luffy and them. And it was such a heartwarming tale that reminded me why I love the Alabasta saga and why I love One Piece in general, honestly. It was such a really, really fun special set in an alternate reality. But when I tell you that I'm not doing it justice, man, y'all need to give this a watch. I truly am not giving it justice, man. The amount of awesome character interactions, the great moments. I mean, seriously, the way the special captures his characters perfectly, with Nami and her character Sanji, Usopp, of course Luffy, Chopper, Zoro, Robin. Like it captures our main crew so well, at least up until that point in time, of course. That was a squad of them. So even the characters that aren't part of a squad, like Vivi, captured her character very well. Most sort of like Vivi's she's more princess-like in terms of she was more kind of like Shiraho. It's like a combination like Vivi and Shirahoshi, where she was mainly kept inside of her castle for a long time, so she doesn't know how to do anything, type of thing. Whereas the Vivi that we knew how to do a lot more than just that, and she was a lot more self-dependent and whatnot. But aside from that, I enjoyed it so much, having this alternate reality of the series, and I'm looking forward to, like I said, I'm gonna watch some more of these Boss Luffy fillers because they're genuinely a lot of fun. And so I'm looking forward to rewatching them because it's been quite a while since I've watched the actual Boss Luffy fillers within the series itself. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm not doing this justice. Y'all need to give that a watch, especially since we're in the Wano, having a lot of fun in the Wano greatness. And if you're enjoying Wano, man, I would highly recommend going back and watching that special. It brings good vibes. It really, really does. Whenever you see certain scenes, they are a blast to watch, man. An absolute pleasure to watch. But yeah, man. TV Special 4, for me, without question, gets an awesome sauce. Now that I'm done with the original TV specials that I really, really wanted to watch because I hadn't watched these before, so it was great being able to watch these. Now, when it comes down to what I'm going to do next, I want to do the movies, for sure. Especially before Stampede comes out. So I'm going to try to watch as many of the movies as possible. I've been in a Film Z mood, heavy Film Z mood. But the thing is, I'm trying to go through the movies in order. But at this point, I might not be able to, bro. Because I really, really want to rewatch Film Z. So I might have to rewatch that. But at the same time, I might be in the mood to rewatch like movie 2 sometime soon. So I'll probably just watch the commercial for movie 2, and that'll get me in the mood for it. I'll see what I can do, because I really want to stay in order when it comes to the movies, at least, so that way I can watch Film Gold last. But we'll see what happens. Well, if not, man, screw it. We'll just watch whichever one I feel like watching, or we get to, just like tonight, and it'll create some good stuff. Because I did not plan on watching either of these specials tonight, but it just so happened to be and had a blast watching both of them, both TV Special 3 and 4, man. So much fun. Alternate reality Japan. Bro, like, seriously. I had already loved this concept enough as it is. Like, I love the Boss Luffy fillers. But then, like, bro, because I'm in such a mood for anything like this, thanks to Wano. Wano has me in this insane mood to check out anything related to this era of history, because I'm just so into what is going on in One Piece right now. Like, in manga-wise, and about to be in the anime. But especially when that trailer dropped for the anime, I was like, bro, I cannot wait for this to come out. It's so colorful. It's so beautiful. It's One Piece. It's Wano. And I'm going to have Wano in the anime and the manga to look forward to every week. Man, it's going to be an absolute blast. And then just released the staff list. And we saw that the original, or the director since 2014 is going to have his final episode, 891, air right before the beginning of Wano, which 892, if I'm not mistaken, is that episode, on July 7th. And that's going to be 2 fantastic weeks back to back, because we're going to have 891 that has a really, really nice staff, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm not very, very knowledgeable on that, but 891, it looks like, has a great staff. 892, I mean, we've already seen some of the previews for it, man. That's going to be a phenomenal episode. 909 in the anime? Ooh, it's gonna be goat. But yeah, man, looking forward to the chapters coming out. In a couple hours, I'll probably be asleep by the time it comes out. But yeah, man, I just really, really wanted to make this video because, God, man, those 2 specials were so much fun to watch. TV Special 3 and 4, man. Absolute greatness. But anyways, I hope everybody has an awesome sauce of a day. Take care of yourselves. Keep moving forward. Like I said, this will probably be published on Saturday. But regardless of all of you, have an awesome sauce of a day. Take care. By this time, we'll already be talking about and really into the greatness that was the latest chapter of the best-selling manga in history. So look forward to that, man. I'll see y'all then. I hope everybody has an awesome sauce of a day. Actually, since this is uploading on Saturday, I will see y'all tonight for the new episode of the One Piece greatness. So I hope all of you have an awesome sauce of a day, yo. Take care.